Okay, so let's dive right in. Have you ever been scrolling online, maybe late at night, right? And you see something just so bizarre, something that completely flies in the face of, basic science, makes you stop and think, wait, what did I just read? Well, that happened to me. I stumbled upon these things called Curvify hip enhancement drops. Hip enhancement drops. The idea, the main pitch, is you rub this liquid on your hips and, well, they get bigger, just
Yeah.
like that. It sounds kind of like magic, doesn't it? Like something out of a fantasy novel. So, our mission today on the deep dive is to really unpack this. We're going to look hard at these claims, we'll examine how they say it works, look at the ingredients, and stack it all up against, actual biology. We're leaning a lot on a really good review from the Premium Reviews YouTube channel. They went deep on this specific product. Our goal is basically to give you the quick version, the truth behind these kinds of viral things so you're informed. And maybe appreciate how amazing our bodies actually are. Seriously, my first thought was just disbelief, pure disbelief. The reviewer from Premium Reviews, they put it so well. They said something like, we've officially entered the timeline where people think you can download more RAM for your body parts.
Mm.
It sounds funny, but it captures that feeling, right? The sheer audacity. Like,
Yeah.
someone actually thought, yeah, changing bone structure or fat placement, I can bottle that.
It's quite a leap, isn't it?
It really is. And the way they say it works, it's just as imaginative. You're supposed to massage these drops in, and your body apparently goes, oh, okay, instructions received, time to move fat exactly here,
Mhm.
as if our bodies are just waiting for, like, a memo rubbed onto the skin.
Right. And that's where the fundamental disconnect with biology comes in.
So talk us through that. Why is that idea just biologically unsound?
Well, fundamentally, our bodies just don't take topical instructions for things like fat redistribution or even more so changing bone structure. Fat distribution, that's incredibly complex. It involves your genetics, your hormones, think estrogen, insulin, your overall diet, body composition. It's all regulated internally at a cellular level.
Mm.
Fat cells have specific receptors for hormones that tell them what to do. Rubbing plant oil on the surface just doesn't engage those mechanisms. The body isn't programmed to respond that way.
Okay, that makes sense for fat. But what about bone? They sometimes hint at structural changes.
Bone structure is even less likely to be affected by something topical. Bone is living tissue, constantly remodeling itself, sure. But that process involves specialized cells, osteoblasts building, osteoclasts breaking down, and it responds to internal signals. Things like mechanical stress from exercise, systemic hormones circulating in your blood, nutrient levels. Not a cream or oil penetrating the skin. Remember, the skin is primarily a barrier. It's designed to keep things out, not to act as a delivery system for things meant to reshape your skeleton.
Wow. Okay, so it's really a non-starter from a biological perspective.
Pretty much, yes. The basic principles of anatomy and physiology just don't support the claim.
Which leads to that kind of aha moment, right? Realizing just how fundamentally flawed the core idea is. It relies on you not thinking about how your body actually works.
Exactly. It banks on a surface-level understanding, or maybe just wishful thinking.
Which brings us to the proof they offer. Like a lot of these products, Curvify relies heavily on before and after photos.
Ah, yes, the classic visual evidence.
You see them plastered everywhere, supposedly showing these incredible transformations. But, like the Premium Reviews channel pointed out, you gotta be skeptical. They said the photos look about as legitimate as those lose 30 pounds in 3 days ads.
Mm-hmm. The ones next to celebrity gossip.
Exactly. You know the type. Bad lighting, slouched posture in the before, perfect lighting, flexing, maybe even different underwear in the after.
It's a very common and unfortunately effective tactic. Our brains are wired to react to visuals.
So, from your perspective, why are these kinds of photos so problematic in general?
Well, this really raises an important point about visual literacy, doesn't it? How we process images in marketing. Before and after photos are powerful, but they are so easily manipulated.
Hmm.
Lighting, posture, camera angle, clothing sucking in your stomach, flexing, all of that can create a dramatic visual difference with zero actual change in body composition. Sometimes it might not even be the same person, or the timeline is completely misrepresented. Without strict controls, standardized conditions, and independent verification, which you almost never get in product marketing, these photos are essentially meaningless as scientific evidence.
So basically, don't trust the picture on the box.
Or on the webpage, yes. Think critically. Ask yourself, what else could explain this difference? What aren't they showing me? Real biological changes take time and happen through known processes.
Makes sense. Always question the visuals. Okay, let's get into the ingredients. The secret sauce, supposedly. Curvify plays heavily on the natural card. They list natural plant extracts, specifically calling out maca extract and plant oils.
The natural angle is very
It's just a
common.
classic marketing move, isn't it? Slap natural on something and people assume it's safe and effective, regardless of the actual claim. The reviewer had that great line, it's like slapping the word organic on a unicorn and expecting people to think unicorns are real now.
That's a perfect analogy. It borrows the positive connotation of natural or organic to lend credibility where there might be none scientifically for the specific claim being made.
So let's break down these ingredients. Plant oils and maca extract. What's the science say about them?
Okay, so what's fascinating here is the gap between what these ingredients can do and what the product claims they do. Plant oils like jojoba, almond, whatever they might be using, they can be good moisturizers. They can make your skin feel nice, smell nice,
Right.
improve skin barrier function to some extent.
Okay, so good for skin.
Good for skin health, yes.
Yes.
But moisturizing your skin is a world away from instructing fat cells to multiply or migrate or telling bone to reshape itself. There's just no known mechanism for that.
And maca extract. I've heard of that in supplements.
Right. Maca is a root, often sold as a powder or supplement. There's some research, mostly preliminary, on its potential effects when ingested things related to energy, libido, maybe some hormonal influence, though evidence is often mixed or limited. But again, that's when taken orally and absorbed systemically. There's absolutely zero credible scientific evidence to suggest that applying maca extract topically to your hips would cause localized fat gain or bone changes.
So their body reshaping power is negligible.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
As the source review joked, comparing their body reshaping power to my morning coffee is pretty apt. Coffee wakes you up, it has effects, but it's not sculpting your body.
Right.
These ingredients simply don't possess the biological capabilities attributed to them, especially via skin application. The skin is designed to prevent most substances from reaching deeper tissues and the bloodstream in significant amounts.
So it just doesn't add up scientifically at all.
Not for the claimed outcome, though.
Which really brings us to the crux of it, the ultimate biological disconnect, why this just can't work.
Exactly. And I think the source review summed it up perfectly, and it's worth repeating because it's so logical.
Yeah.
Look, if topical drops could reshape your body, plastic surgeons would be out of business, and we'd all look like Greek statues by now.
That's such a powerful point. Think about it.
Right. If it were that easy, why would anyone go through the expense, risk, and recovery of surgery? Why the years of disciplined diet and exercise?
Yeah, the entire industry is built around genuine body modification would just vanish.
Precisely. Those methods work whether it's lifestyle changes or medical procedures like liposuction or fat grafting because they operate on established physiological principles. They actually remove fat or add volume structurally or build muscle mass through stress and repair.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture,
The bigger picture is that our actual body shape is determined by factors like genetics, which dictates a lot about where we store fat, our overall body fat percentage, influenced by diet and exercise, muscle mass, built through resistance training, and hormonal balance. These are the levers we can actually pull through effort or medical science. Topical drops claiming to bypass all that. It's pure fantasy, biologically speaking.
and understanding this is really important for you, the listener, right?
Absolutely. It's crucial for managing expectations, for not wasting money, and frankly, for respecting your own body and understanding how it actually works. It helps you critically evaluate claims and avoid falling for promises that are biologically impossible. It empowers you to make informed choices about health and appearance.
Okay, so let's wrap this deep dive up. The conclusion on Curvify hip enhancement drops seems pretty clear-cut. The claims, biologically unfounded. The visual proof, highly questionable, easily faked. The ingredients, nice for your skin, maybe, but definitely not capable of reshaping your hips.
That summarizes it well. The science just isn't there to support the marketing.
So, echoing the advice from premium reviews, probably best to skip this one. Stick with approaches that actually have evidence behind them, like, diet, exercise, or accepted medical procedures, if that's your path.
Sound advice. If it seems too good to be true.
It almost always is, especially in the world of quick-fix body products. But here's something to chew on after we finish. We live in a world just flooded with these kinds of quick-fix promises, right? Especially around body image and self-improvement. So the question I want to leave you with is, what tools, what critical thinking skills can you personally use day to day to evaluate these extraordinary claims? How do you separate the genuine potential from the appealing fantasy, not just with products, but with all sorts of information thrown your way? Something to think about.